Hey guys, welcome back to Paracord Planet. As you can see, we are temporarily back in our old studio. So for the time being, we've been trying to do some more renovations and move a few more things around. So in the meantime, we figured we could use a little bit of cord to help with some soundproofing. So since this is a temporary setup, we wanted to have a little bit more freedom to move our equipment around and not be tied down to the space as it is right now. And that would include our soundproofing. We didn't really want to adhere them to the walls like we had in the past, so I thought that using some paracord to stitch them together and essentially hang them up would be a good option. While paracord might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you're trying to decide how to hang something up in your home or your apartment, it does have its benefits in that it allows you to create a modular setup for something like soundproofing. So if you are in an apartment and you want to just maybe soundproof the wall closest to your neighbor, or you want to start getting into podcasting, having this modular setup is a perfect solution if you aren't wanting to damage your walls or void your lease somewhere for the time being. So to start, I only have 3 of my panels here that I am going to stitch up the side on. I don't have an exact length yet for how much cord I'm going to be using. Obviously, it's going to vary on what size of soundproofing panels you have. But I will let you know down in the description below how many feet we end up using by the end of the project. Other than your cord, you're just going to need a type 3 fid to lace with, and a pair of scissors and a lighter. So let's jump in. So to stitch my panels together today, I'm using some 550 cord in neon green. I also have the 12x12 standard soundproofing foam panels, and they're about 1/2 inch thick in the ridges, which is where I'm going to be stitching at. So I probably wouldn't go any larger than 550, but you could definitely go smaller if you're looking for something that isn't as bold or bright as this. So after I have my cord attached to my fid, I'm going to start stitching in the lower right-hand corner on this one. I'm going to be going this way as I keep building my 3x1 section. So I'll start on the back, and I think I'll start about 2 inches in. Then that way, if I, push a little hard with the fid, I don't run the risk of ripping through to the side at all. So now that I have that through, I'm going to pull out about as much cord as I know I'm going to need for my side. So I'm just going to pull out about 3 feet of cord. And it's going to be a super simple stitch, and I'm just going to go through the top and bottom of each ridge that's on here. But you can really create any kind of stitching pattern you want to. Obviously, everyone's soundproofing panels might be, built a little differently or a different shape. So feel free to get creative. I'm going to finish the side of this one panel, and after I have this stitched up and I start joining it to my second one, we'll come back. Since you'll typically set up your sound panels alternating if you have these style ridges on there, I'm just ending my panel by going kind of back in, not through a ridge obviously or around the edge, but I just went in a little ways from the edge right here to come out the back again. So basically just try and aim to end on the back if you can when you start connecting your panels. So for this one, again, I'm just going to start maybe about 1 inch in from the edge, come through the back. And just to keep this one kind of simple, I want the alternating solid and stitch for each panel. So I'm going to just do a straight line here and go back through the back. So super simple, just one pass through there and you have your 2 panels together now. So I will just do the same thing with the 3rd and so on. I actually have 9 of these panels, so I'm going to make a 3x3 modular piece and see how it turns out. So here is our stitched together modular soundproofing panels. So it worked out pretty nice, actually. A little bit of trial and error going through and figuring out what kind of pattern I wanted to do. Ended up kind of doubling back on a few places just to make sure that they were held together at every corner, but pretty happy with how this turned out. Now all that's left is to hang it up and give it a try. Definitely let us know in the comments below if you end up doing this project for yourself. And also let us know if you've ended up using Paracord for a DIY project of your own, whether that was in the home, in your workshop, or out in the garden. So thanks again for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.